Thanks for joining us here at the Weather Channel. I'm Christina Abernathy. We'll have your forecast coming up in just a moment, but first we want to take a look at some weather around the country on Saturday. Starting out with Boston, where it was a great day to be out on the boat. Many of you headed to Castle Island to do just that. With sunshine and temperatures in the 70s, some of you chose to read outdoors or run with the dog. Temperatures cool overnight, so you may want to grab a jacket. Showers and even a thunderstorm kept temperatures and motorists at bay today in the Tampa area. A cold front sagging southward into the sunshine may have helped trigger the rain. That front will likely bring more showers to Florida on Sunday. The sun beat down on Shreveport today. You could clearly see your shadow on a day like Saturday. Temperatures reached 107 degrees. That's a record for the area. So many of you were fanning yourselves and drinking fluids if you found yourself outdoors. You can expect another scorcher tomorrow. This was the scene in Garland, Texas, a northeast suburb of Dallas. These softball players did not let the heat call off their game. Temperatures did reach the triple digits again today, but these folks were careful. They wore light clothing and sunglasses, but most importantly, they remembered to drink lots of fluids. So there's some good advice to follow because it will be another hot day in Texas on Sunday. And of course, all of Texas has been hot, and that's been especially true for you in Dallas, where you have a string of 27 straight days of temperatures at or above 100 degrees. It looks like Sunday is going to be another one. Now, quite a stretch, quite a heat wave here, but the record, 42 days, and that was back in 1980. So we'll see if you break the record or not. Hopefully not, because this heat has been unbearable. And it's been record-breaking for a lot of you in Louisiana and Texas and Arkansas, Dallas, College Station, Texarkana, and the list goes on and on. Houston, Monroe, New Orleans, 97 tying a record for you. So those actual highs, quite hot, 100-degree heat or better here. And those temperatures, while not terribly above average, only a few degrees actually above average, it's been the duration of the heat that's been most notable here. As we look at the big picture, we've got pretty quiet weather in the west and in the northeast, but we'll be watching Florida, and we'll also be watching this area for strong storms. That will be a possibility for you, maybe some heavy rain too. You want to watch out, especially into parts of Kansas here, the northeastern part of the state, maybe into western portions of Missouri for heavy rain. Again, the wet weather possible here. Some of that could be in the form of strong storms, and look out for fog in the southeast and parts of New England. Temperatures will be coolest on Sunday morning in the northeast and the northwest, mild elsewhere. And through the day tomorrow, watching this system, watching our front, and rain and storms associated with both of these. High pressure in the northeast and in the west will keep you pretty quiet, but we will be watching these areas. Some of these storms could be rather strong. Some of the rain could be pretty heavy. We're talking in this area the potential for 3 or more inches locally through noon tomorrow, so that certainly is substantial. Temperatures cool to the north, relatively speaking, very hot to the south. And that trend is going to continue for you. The heat continues for Texas, although maybe not quite as bad for Tuesday. To the north, 70s and 80s, but the west will be hot, the south will be hot. The northeast and the Midwest is where we'll find some of the coolest temperatures through Thursday. Rain and storms in the central U.S., very messy here. Quiet in the west, though, that ridge keeping you hot, also keeping you dry. But the nation's midsection is where it's at for Tuesday. And then take a look at Wednesday. Maybe some of this wet weather making it into Texas. That's a possibility. We'll have to keep a close eye on that. You could certainly use the rain. Still a few question marks, so just stay with us and we'll keep you updated as we get closer and closer to Wednesday and into Thursday, where again you may see that chance for rain here. Isolated storms in Florida, soggy conditions maybe through the Carolinas, but much of the northern U.S. will be fairly quiet with a couple of exceptions. Again, we will be watching Texas because you could definitely use the wet weather. Well, stay tuned. Your extended travel forecast is coming up.
Hello.
Now, you want to be shocked and amazed by our psychics, don't you?
Yes, I do.
Well, this time, it's me who's going to shock and amaze you.
Oh, really?
Yes, really. I'm giving you 12 full minutes with a real psychic for free.
12 full minutes, all in one call?
Yes, all in one call, no strings attached. This 12 free minutes is for real.
And do I have to join a club or something?
No, this free is better than free. In fact, you're under no obligation to spend a single dime, and you will definitely get your 12 minutes free.
Well, it sounds pretty good.
Honey, listen to me. This is so free that you speak directly to your psychic on an 800 number.
On an 800 number. Wow, it really is free.
Exactly. So don't miss out. Pick up your phone and call this number right now. Get your free psychic reading with 12 full minutes free.
Call now for the best long-distance rates and get 12 minutes free. Speak to your psychic directly through an 800 number. This psychic reading really is free.
Call 1-800-987-9486. Breaking weather.
At the Weather Channel, we are always watching the situation.
The latest weather.
Things change in a big hurry. We're not going to let anything slide by us.
If hell freezes over, you'll hear it here first. Stay informed with Weather Center.
Good morning, everyone. Marshall Cease here with Will Annan this morning. We're watching Tropical Storm Alex continues to chug across the Atlantic, and some flooding rains in two areas, Kansas overnight and Florida, right around Ponte Vedra Beach. Some 3 inches of rain has fallen. Some homes have flooded around just south of Jacksonville there.
It sure looks like that rain now is beginning to diminish, but the rainfall right now in Kansas is still heavy, and that batch is heading towards Kansas City, Missouri. Let's show you what's going on right now. We'll take a look, and we can show you that we're looking at the satellite picture, and you can see the bright white clouds right in the middle part of the country. There you go, because once again you're talking about the heavier rains, which are moving right along Interstate 70 at the present time. Looks like they're heading right towards Kansas City, Missouri. So you'll be looking at some rainfall this morning. Then it's going to be diminishing, but watch out this afternoon, because once the clouds do go away, the sunshine returns, this air mass is going to destabilize, and you're going to be looking at a very, very good chance of more heavy weather, maybe severe thunderstorms. Kansas, Nebraska, parts of Missouri and Iowa, getting real close to Minneapolis, St. Paul towards late afternoon and early on this evening. Hot and dry weather begins to expand northbound for the next few days across the west with a ridge of high pressure there. And if you live anywhere in the middle part of the country, let's say from the Great Lakes states on up to the northeast, you're going to be looking at a fabulous weekend. You already have had one day under the belt, which has been very, very good. It looks like another one is on the way. Here's a look at our current weather map. There is the high pressure for the northeastern part of the country, the wet weather in the middle part of the nation. But we'll begin our series by looking at, first of all, the northeast. With high pressure like this, there's not much weather to talk about, that is for sure. Comfortably cool temps at night and early in the morning. Take a look at this, 40s and 50s, even around New York City at 70 degrees. You know it's much, much cooler than that away from the city and the suburbs. And right now, the same thing for Boston suburbs, looking at temperatures in the 50s this morning. Myers at 47 degrees, Pittsburgh 54, and Erie right now is at 56 degrees. A nice, nice start again to your Sunday. I'll show you what's going on as you take a look at the Midwest. 58 degrees in Green Bay. Should be another great day again for the fly-in Oshkosh, Wisconsin. And it should be another great day for the State Fair in Columbus, Ohio. As once again you'll be looking at temperatures very comfortable with no rain in the forecast either. This is the current weather map. You can see we've got the ridge, which is stretching all the way back towards La Crosse and Alaska, in Wisconsin and Dubuque, Iowa, and Rockford and Freeport and Chicago. Now just west of there, we pick up a weak disturbance, which is now passing through Nebraska and Kansas. This is the disturbance which is causing some of that heavy rainfall and already has across parts of Kansas this morning. We'll take you there and show you what's going on right now. Basically some light rainfall in and around Valentine, Nebraska, but you can see what is exactly happening right now along Interstate 70. You've got your batch of rainfall from Russell, now heading over towards Kansas City. Probably within about the next hour, Kansas City will be looking at your first wave of rainfall. It'll get heavier during the next 2 hours or so, and then this rainfall is going to be passing through much of central Missouri, dissipating, and then we think it's going to destabilize the atmosphere one more time this afternoon. That's when you could be looking at severe weather. We've seen some heavy rainfall overnight across parts of Florida around Jacksonville. This is dissipating rapidly at the present time, and Texas remains very, very hot and dry. The temperature in Dallas right now has cooled to 81 degrees, but take a look at the records over the Deep South yesterday. We've had some more. Shreveport and Lufkin, Texas, both at 107. Dallas set another new record high at 106 degrees yesterday, and places like Houston, Texas, 103, brand new records, and that ugly streak goes on in Dallas, 27 straight days of looking at temperatures in a row now of 100 degrees or higher. Phoenix 89 degrees at this hour, Reno, Nevada 67. Get ready, Eastern Oregon and Washington. The heat wave begins to expand northward during the next few days. Current weather map in the western part of the country, it is quiet for now. We've got a couple of showers in Montana and of course the heavier rainfall across the central plains right now, but even around Phoenix and Tucson, nothing like you saw a couple of nights ago with some heavy rainfall there. Things really have dissipated. And taking a look at what's happening as a whole, well, our weather map looks like this. and we can show you that once again, high pressure covers the northeastern part of the country. Beautiful weather here. Watch out for the stormy conditions across the middle part of the country. That's your look at the current scene this morning. We've got your national forecast now. Let's go to Marshall Cease.
Thanks a lot, Will. One of the concerns we've got in the southeast over the next couple of days are these low pressures that are going to be developing on the front just off the Carolina coastline. These are going to be wind producers for the Carolina coast, and they're also going to be rain producers along the Carolina coastline, the South Carolina coastline. Looks like we're going to set that up once again this evening. So midday today, we'll see a surface low developing here, and then by late this evening, that's going to get its act together more and throw more moisture along the Carolina coast. Now, out in the plains, we have a similar scenario to last night. The rain is going to continue as this big upper-level system begins to slide to the east and interact with plenty of moisture to work with. So we expect the rain to extend from the Dakotas southward through western Iowa. The rain in Kansas will have moved eastward that we're watching this morning. And then tomorrow morning, we'll see the rain a little further to the north than where we're watching it fall today. Looks like a rainy day around Jacksonville, Florida, for example, southward toward just about the Daytona Beach area, maybe down to Port Canaveral. Looks like the heaviest rain, though, will be up here along the Carolina coastline as that front continues to make its way southward through Florida. We'll see some rain. Now, as this system builds out west, this high pressure, that means the heat's going to build out there as well. But rain-wise, we expect the heaviest precip to be in eastern Kansas and in eastern South Dakota today, and heavier rain in South Florida, at least through midnight tonight. Overnight high, or over today is going to be the 28th day, it looks like, for temperatures above the 100-degree mark for Dallas. Might be some changes in the offing over the next couple of days, though. We might get a little break to that 100-degree reading. In the northeast, again, the weather pick of the day as it was yesterday. The southeast, heaviest rain looks like it's going to be down in Florida, and severe weather likely for the northern plains.
Let's stick around because yet to come is travel-wise, following your local forecast, and we'll pinpoint some of that heavy rainfall this morning in Kansas.
Everyone enjoys listening to birds, and now you can bring those happy sounds indoors with the official National Audubon Society singing bird clock. At 12 o'clock, you'll hear the haunting call of the owl. And throughout the day, a different bird will sing its song to chime the hour. You'll hear the familiar robin, the song sparrow, and more. Each bird sound has been authenticated by the National Audubon Society and will help give your child a true appreciation of nature.
Mommy, that's an oriole.
The singing bird clock will look great in any room, and a light sensor keeps your clock from chiming at night. The official National Audubon Society singing bird clock is only $19.99, complete with this certificate of authenticity and full color book. Call now and you'll also get these full function binoculars, complete with high-powered optics.
Good morning, everyone. Thanks for joining us here at the Weather Channel. I'm Marshall Cease, along with Will Annan this morning, watching a couple of things going on out there, both in the tropics and in the severe weather category. Not so much severe weather, but the rain that has fallen from thunderstorms has been of the flooding variety in two areas, Kansas notably overnight, and another area up around St. Johns County near Jacksonville, down around Ponte Vedra Beach. We have a line of thunderstorms moving out of the Atlantic Ocean right across the area, dropping significant amounts of rain. And I'll show all of that to you coming up in just a minute. But first, we want to get into our tropical update and update you on Tropical Storm Alex and on Hurricane Estelle, and show you what else looks impressive out in the Atlantic today. Here's a broad view, covers pretty much of the tropical areas significant to the lower 48 states. This is an upper-level feature that's to the east of the Bahamas and well north of Cuba and the Dominican Republic. This area is what you think it is. That's Alex, and encountering a lot of shear right now. This is an impressive feature to the south, and this is an area that the Tropical Prediction Center is looking at and saying, this is favorable or could be favorable for development. But it's very far to the south, but it looks very impressive right now. It's not encountering the shear that Alex has been encountering over the last 12 to 24 hours. Alex's center of pressure, or center of circulation, is currently at 18.9 north, 58.3 west. Its 305 miles east of the Leeward Islands, winds at 45 miles per hour, moving west-northwest at 13 miles per hour. Its estimated pressure, 29.88 inches, that's 1,012 millibars. And it looks as though the forecast for Alex is to continue to move to the west-northwest and then take even a more northwesterly track. Alex has encountered a very hostile environment out here. You can see it doesn't even look like it makes any momentum to the east. And in fact, when reconnaissance aircraft went out there yesterday, they found some gusty winds in the northern quadrant of this to just about 35 or 40 miles an hour. So it is not as impressive as what it looked like yesterday. Strong southwesterly winds here just shearing this apart. We're watching this feature. This is an upper-level feature, an upper-level low, closed circulation. The upper level is the atmosphere, and it's well to the east of the Bahama Islands. This could continue to slip southward, and if it does so, it could mean some rain out in the Virgin Islands, but that's all that it looks like right now from this feature. The other feature down toward South America is the one that we're going to be watching for possible development. That looks pretty impressive, but it doesn't look like it would take a track that would concern the lower 48 states at all. In the Gulf of Mexico, we had a flare-up of thunderstorms as this front slid south, and in the Gulf of Mexico you see some convection from those overnight thunderstorms. And with that front draped across northern Florida, some thunderstorms have developed just off the coast of Florida, and that's caused some pretty heavy rain to fall. Let's take a radar out of there if we could. Andy, on the other source. This has caused some flooding rains over St. Johns County just off the coast of Ponte Vedra Beach. 3 inches of rain so far, and could be another 1 to 2 inches. Some homes have been flooded in this area too, with a very thin line of very heavy rain this morning. Let's take another look now at that disturbance off the South American coast. This is the one that is favorable for continued development, but again, it is very far to the south, and it just, again, bears watching as the Atlantic season becomes more active. We're on that upward trend of the graph. Another disturbance moving off Africa. Again, all of these bear watching now. We're almost into the Cape Verde season. We call it the Cape Verde season because these tend to make it all the way across the Atlantic in one form or another. These are the Cape Verde Islands, and that's where these disturbances develop. We are on the upward trend of the graph, as I mentioned. You're right at the end of July, heading toward August, where the graph becomes very steep. Now, on the Pacific, look at this. Is that majestic or what? That's Estelle. Estelle, a formidable hurricane, and now a Category 3 hurricane. Went from 85 miles per hour to like 115 miles per hour overnight, and now is sitting at 130 miles per hour. Its center of circulation 16.8 north, 118.1 west, 670 miles southwest of Cabo San Lucas, moving west at 14, central pressure 948